Well, we're back, boys and girls. Though, unfortunately, it looks like the bug finally kind of caught up to me. So, I was safe for a while. 3 weeks was kind of my little bit of leisure, and it's like, hell yeah. Gonna punch you right in the face again. You get to be sick. Happy birthday to you. Even though it's nowhere near my birthday. But I've been resting all day, and it's not that bad. It's mostly, I'm pretty sure it's just like a head cold. And I got it from one of the kiddos. It's not Chris's fault. It was definitely one of the kiddos. Nah, it ain't that. I don't even feel that bad. Like, I feel bad, like I feel a little lethargic, but it feels like a head cold. It feels like a head cold that I've gotten a bunch of times. It's like a mix between a head cold and like, I can't tell if like, it's really hot out. Because the weather, like, it's now in the 70s, and we're used to it being in, like, in the 50s and 60s. And I go out into the living area, and it's much colder, but it's much warmer in my room, which is natural. So, like, my body's all out of sync. I was going to go into work today. I was kind of debating. I was like, I don't know if I want to go in or not go in. I don't want to, if I'm sick, I don't want to get other people sick. And then someone canceled the job on me that I was going to take today anyways. I'm like, well, now I don't feel bad. I guess I'm staying home. I guess I'm sleeping in, so I slept in for a while, woke up around 11, watched some Castlevania. That shit's pretty good. And then I want to do some art. I want to at least get some shit done today. So it probably won't be a 4-hour stream like I was saying. I'm hoping that this is a minor bug and that it's not going to flame out. Hopefully this is like the peak and then it de-escalates. So drinking water, doing all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not worried about CV. I'm young enough that I would win. More worried about the elderly and stuff like that. I'd be more worried about my parents than myself. Alright, so last thing that we were doing is we were doing fucking rocks or some shit, I think. Oh, I gotta do trees. You know what? Let's get that shit out of the way. Let's just do some trees. Let's get all Bob Ross in here and get that shit out of the way. I like trees. Trees are fun. God, if I open a window, is it going to open YouTube? If I do an incognito window, will that open it right up here? Okay, cool. I just want some reference for some trees, like fantasy trees. But hopefully not the kind that's like pot or something like that. I mean, we know what happened with that last guy. Typically what I'll do with an illustration, stuff like this, like I'll go ahead and I'll look and be like, oh cool, let's look at some inspiration. I mean, I really only need to look at Ishgard stuff, but it does help to occasionally look at what other artists' interpretations of trees are. It's a cool just idea for breakdown, but like I was way too broad. Fantasy trees, forest, forest. That's not a fucking word. Let's see. Fantasy forest. Let's do winter. Yeah, that's more what I'm looking for. And like, I'm not gonna directly copy these guys or anything like that, or any of these peeps. It's just, it helps to get reference. It helps to kind of see what other things happen. Just even looking at real life photos and like, okay, how's the snowbank working on this thing? Bushes, some twigs, stuff like that. But mine's going to have a little bit more brushel and bristle on them. So I'm going to pull this over. So if I'm a little lenient with chat, or if I'm a little less talkative, which it's me, I can't seem to shut up, know that it's just because, I don't know, I'm just a bit drained. And I know what some of you are probably going to say, well, you don't have to stream. It's like, no, I don't have to, but I want to do some art anyways. So I may as well be on here too. Like, I've slept all day. I may as well get some shit. Oh no, I'm definitely some kind of sick. I blew. I don't fucking know what it is. It was a matter of time. It's just, if it was passing around, like Jen was sick for a while. Chris was sick. I was really good too. Washing my hands, keeping away from people, but I work with kids, you know? And people send their kids to school when they're sick. So fuck me, right? You know, like, what are you gonna do? I'm hoping that whatever I got, it's going to be over within a couple days. It's been bad this year, man. I was sick for a long time in January. For about like 2.5 weeks, but it wasn't like sick. It was like head cold sick, where it's like I'm not really sick enough that I can't work and I have to work so I can pay my bills. But this is one of those sicks where it's like I need to stay at home, because if I don't stay and if I don't rest, I suck. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why parents do. They can't afford to keep them at home, and they don't know what to do, and they're too young to take care of themselves, and they can't hire anybody to take care of them, so they send them to school. You know, it's shitty on both ends. Like, the parents would probably love to just leave them home, but if they leave them home, then they gotta leave the older siblings home. If there is no other older siblings, then what are they gonna do? It sucks. I mean, it's a whole infrastructure problem with the United States. That's the worst part about it, Jack. Like, this isn't like, God, I can't even move, this is horrible. It's not like horrible where like Chris was for like a couple of days. This is just like, this sucks. I'm at like 75% capacity, and I can't tell if it's just like, am I sick? Like, am I about to like hit a flu or something like that? Or am I like, your body's fighting it, you're gonna be kind of good, but you're gonna be down for like 4 days. So, when will we cure the sickness? Never, because it's always mutating and changing into new things. But it could be worse. Alright, this is way too big of a brush. But then again, I need to draw these kind of bigger. So you know what I probably need to do? I probably need to hide some of this stuff. I need to do what I did on my last illustration. I just need to draw some bigger trees, and then I'm going to have to just... what am I gonna do? Let's go. For some reason we have company over right now. I don't know why. Everyone around here's been sick. Don't know why people would want to come over. What are you gonna do though? So I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this tree. I'm just drawing a generic tree right now. Oh boy, I'm just fucking tired of being sick. I'm so tired of it constantly throwing off my workout game. I could kind of tell yesterday, it's like, great, is this a sore throat or this is me about to get sick? And it was like I thought, it was me about to get sick. And the worst part is there's like nothing I can do about it. No matter how much I try to like be clean and all this other shit, it's just part of my profession. Ah, boy. Alright, where's some reference? Why does Kelly have to be the one with the virus? Well, I mean, it's not that, dude. I guarantee that's not what I have. I literally just have, it's just flu season around here. It's flu season and stuff. It's not that that thing isn't real. It is very real, and it is affecting a bunch of people. And there are confirmed cases in our area, but I'm not worried that it's that. I'm just fucking tired of getting this shit. Like, feels like I just got over something and I got sick again. Part of it's because I live with someone else who works with kids too, so it's like it's a double factor. So like if one of us gets sick, there's a good chance the either's gonna get sick too. And it's no one's fault, it just fucking happens. But I think I'm gonna start getting the flu shot every year now. I haven't been doing it because I haven't been getting it for a while, but every fucking year I seem to get close, and this time it finally got me. Where the fuck are my things I need to use? Where's Azale's commission? There we go. What's this reference? Load up. Don't want that. Don't want that. Don't want... These are kind of close. But I want something with more. Nope, nope, nope. You're not it. Anything else? No, no, no? Cool, but no. I guess they would be kind of wilted. Oh, that's the kind of trees I'm looking for, because these are the ones that you're going to see in that area. Yeah. Alright. That'll work. Nah. I'm good. I got some stuff. You think with teachers... I mean, think about it. I probably do have a really great immune system, but the problem is I'm not at the same school. I'm at different schools every day. So I literally run the gamut of like 6 different schools. So say I'm good at one school, I'm like, cool, I can beat this one bug. I still gotta fight 6 other. So I beat 5 out of 6, but the 6th one got me with a sucker punch. So, it kind of just is what it is. I'm just annoyed because it once again just throws me off. It's like, okay, cool. Now I gotta work on recovering from this again. Freaking again. I just got over this again. I can't visit my family again. It's just frustrating. It's like, I'll get over it, and like in a week, I should be fine. But, if it ain't the fucking pits. Alright. Snow. The thing is, I can't do too much with these because I gotta fully illustrate them. I guess I should wait to do trees, but you know what? I want to figure out how I'm going to draw them first. Trees aren't like rocks. They're much harder. There's much more difference in them. You know what? I think I need some tall, skinny trees too. So let's get like a triangle shape going on in here. I still haven't figured out, even after all these years, my go-to method for drawing trees. Like, I have like 1 or 2 stockpiled, but maybe that's the thing I need to work on next. I've been working a lot on buildings. I think maybe I need to work on how I draw trees. A lot of painters will be able to just like cluster them, but I'm not much of a painter. I mean, I'm an illustrator, but I'm not really a painter. So I'm not sure how I would handle it. I'm still trying to figure that out. Yeah, some tall, skinny trees, some thick trees. I'll probably draw 1 or 2. Let's label these trees. I'm gonna work on some of this stuff. So I know that's gonna be tree-ish area. And I know this is gonna be sky. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna do some clouds. You're probably thinking, he's making purple clouds? He must be high. No, not high. Just this helps me see it a little bit easier at the beginning. Alright, do that. But yeah, it just sucks, because it's one of those things where it's like, man, I'm not that sick, but I'm still sick. And I'm always overly precautious when I'm sick too. It's like, guess I'm not doing anything. I even played Pokemon today. I must be really sick. Chances are I probably got sick because of my student. He was still kind of ill when I was tutoring him the other day. That's probably where I got sick, honestly. Because I spent 2 hours with him in a room. And I was like, I'm going to get sick from this kid, aren't I? Yep. It took a couple days, but bam. Thanks, Pat. It could be worse. I could have, like, a really bad disease. Like, this is probably just a common cold. Might have a little bit of flu. I don't know. I'll be fine. I'm a strong boy. Chris is already feeling better. He's out there talking with people. We canceled D&D, though. With him still recovering and now me being sick, is like, yeah, we should probably not bring everyone over, which is why it's kind of funny that someone from our D&D group is over. It's like, well, we're kind of half preventing it. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. You know what? I wish I knew who influenced me on how to draw clouds, but I honestly can't tell you. I think I just think of anime clouds when I'm always doing clouds. They make no sense, though. Should learn one of these days how to paint realistic clouds. Someday. Alright. Well, I want this to be stabby clouds, yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried about that, Ryan. I'm not worried about that at all. Yeah, I mean, the people, unfortunately, that are hitting it the most are elderly. And that's why I said, like, if I was concerned about it, I'd be more concerned about my parents. Or, you know, much older people. Me, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. You can't live your life worrying about that shit. Be prepared. you know, and be cautious. But at the same time, like, what are you fucking gonna do? You know, you're gonna live your life in fear, or are you just gonna live your life? That being said, don't go jumping off any buildings. And when you're sick, don't fucking work out. It's stupid. You know? Still follow common sense. Like, there's legitimate reasons for people to, you know, being cautious, and the World Organization of Health and stuff, you know, telling people to, like, hey, we're trying to contain this, because, like, yeah, it's super important, because the elderly get hurt the most by it. But, at first I thought they were blowing it a little out of proportion, but then, you know, as things have kind of progressed, it's like, it makes sense why so much is, like, kind of going out and about. I think I want to make this is this gonna be a night scene or a dayish scene? I do a lot of night stuff. I'm gonna do this during the day. Not dusk, though. I already did a dusk illustration not too long ago. Let's do daytime. Let's do daytime. Oh, you know what? It should be like a winter storm. That's what it should be. It should be like a fucking blizzard. That'd be baller. I haven't done anything like that. I don't think I've ever done a blizzard. I've done snow, but I don't think I've ever done a blizzard. That'd be baller. Yeah, I mean, it's also, it's twofold too. It sucks when people go to work when they're sick, but, you know, it's also just, I get it too. Financially, people are in a tough strait. Like, me taking a couple days off of work, like, is gonna throw me off next month. I know it is, but, you know, I landed something for the summer, so, like, I'm not too fretting about it now, because I know I'm gonna have a teaching job over the summer, so I'm like, alright, cool, I'll be fine. And I've been smart with my money, so I'll be fine. But it still sucks. Don't like not getting paid. But at the same time, I'd rather not get paid and just not, you know, go in and get other people sick. It's not worth it. It's one thing if I knew I didn't have anything contagious, you know, but there's no pride in going into work sick. It's just stupidity. Like, your body needs rest. That's the whole thing that your body's trying to tell you. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to determine my light source too, because these guys are going to start needing shadows. I know I need to do a Zale next, but let's see. You know, it's a blizzard, so there's not going to be a ton of light. And it's going to be mostly in shadow, mostly kind of dusky. I'm going to imagine, like, the light source is actually, I'm going to make it come from Azale himself. He's going to be doing, like, a warrior spin move. So, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have light kind of projecting out this way. So, he's going to be rim lit. So, let's go ahead. And this is what I do for, like, when it comes to just figuring out where my shadows are going to go. These aren't what the shadows are going to be, but it helps me figure out kind of what I want to do in terms of, like, shadow placement and stuff like that. He'll be in all darkness. He'll have a little bit of rim light. He'll be casting shadow on this. This will all be in shadow, minus a little bit that's caught here. Definitely some shadow there, shadow there, shadow there. Smaller brush, shadow, shadow. And you guys would notice this if I turned it to multiply. Multiply makes it a little bit easier to kind of see what I'm doing. On the good part though, I got to watch Castlevania the day it came out, so I've watched like 4 episodes of that, and then I fell asleep for a little bit. But that shit remains to be cool. So, you know, silver lining, minor silver lining. I'd rather not be sick, but you know, fuck it. Grab that leg, grab that. A little bit of light there. Beat Koga earlier today. Not Koga, I was watching the Pokemon anime. That's what I'm thinking. Koga. Kabu. I beat Kabu earlier because my kid that I tutor wants to eventually trade stuff with me on Pokemon. So I was like, alright, I'll play that game again. Yeah, that looks good. this big old boy is gonna be in lighting 2. But yeah, I don't feel like on death's door or anything like that. It's just just and that's the worst part, is it's just figuring out this stuff, figuring out that. Most of the stuff will be in shadow. I've never done a blizzard before, so this is gonna be fun. Probably make most of that all in shadow. The more I think about the trees, the more I feel like I'm gonna have to do that last, because I'm gonna need to figure out my color scheme, honestly, before I start doing them. So I think I'll just spend this time doing Azale's inks, honestly. Because then that way I'll be able to replicate that stuff a bit quicker. I'll check chat in a sec. Sorry, I'm not paying too much attention. This Scree guy's got me all confused. Not sure what he's yelling about. I think he's telling me I should have done my dailies by now, so I can get my Scree mount. That must be what it's about. Not about sleeping. Nah, that can't be it. Gonna need to figure out how to figure out that whole. Well, Azale's gonna be mostly in this area, so I guess I don't have to worry about that now that I think about that. That's why I did that. Castlevania's fun. Yeah, season 3 just came out today. I love Pokemon. I mean, when I was in 5th grade, well, 4th grade, I guess, Pokemon came out, and I was the original Pokemon generation. So, 31 now. Yeah, Pokemon's been a lot to me. I used to just look at that instruction manual and redraw those watercolor illustrations constantly. I had books full of just drawing different Pokemon. I love Gold and Silver. I'd play Pokemon religiously all the way up till Ruby. I caught all 151 in the first one. I got close to almost all of them in Silver, but not entirely all of them. And I like it, but the only reason I'm not really playing through it again on my own is I've seen everything. You know, it's like Hollow Knight. I like Hollow Knight a lot, but I don't like it as much as Chris for the sole fact that he was the one playing. So there's a level of appreciation that he has for it because of the triumph that he had. Like, I still love Hollow Knight, and I love Zoe, but he loves it on a whole nother level for me. I guess what I'm trying to say is because I already saw all of it, I already know what's about to come, and half the fun of Pokemon Adventures is not knowing what's about to happen. You don't know what Pokemon you're going to run into, what you're going to see, what callbacks. And once you kind of know all that, the combat's not interesting enough to keep my attention. Thanks, Darkstar. So it kind of just falls through the cracks. I guess Hollow Knight's not a good comparison. But it's just, once you've seen a playthrough of a game sometimes the game's not enough to hold you through it. I don't know if that makes sense. It just takes away from the experience. Now, that said, if someone was doing like a let's play or a walkthrough of a game that I've already played, I'd still be down for watching it, but I like to go in things blind. It doesn't make the game bad. It doesn't make it any less great. It's just like, oh, I know what happens in this cutscene, and there's no skip cutscene button in Pokemon. So I have to just sit through and just spam A. It's like the dialogue's not interesting enough for me to want to redo it. It's not like Final Fantasy XIV where, like, I replayed it on an alternate account, and that was interesting because, you know, the dialogues, it reminds me of what the characters were like before they went through all these changes. It reminds me of what the character's place in the story was, you know. There's dialogue that maybe I didn't pick up on the first time that has connections to other stuff. So, like, there's extra stuff to like, glean out of it. Pokemon just doesn't have that. Pokemon's plot just doesn't lend itself to that kind of enrichment. It's not like playing through... It's not like if I watched someone play... What's a good game? Like if someone played through like Mass Effect. I'd still want to go play through Mass Effect on my own, because Mass Effect has like different choices and different routes and things I can do. Pokemon's a completely linear experience, you know. And I've played so many of them. I've played so many Pokemon games that it just doesn't, the nostalgia can't hit as hard, because I just played X and Y, and that was kind of a nostalgia trip. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still waiting for them to make that Pokemon game for me. But, you know, I'm okay with that never happening, too. That said, Pokemon's a great game. The new one's good. There's nothing bad about it. It's just yeah, it just kind of comes down to, I'd rather replay Final Fantasy XII again and look at all the connections that 14's pulling out of it and just relive that story than play through Pokemon again, because it's just, there's nothing to those characters, you know? They're very flat. And it's fun and it's great, but I also often hate when people are like, well, it's a kid's game. It's like, fucking cut that shit out. I don't know a single creative that's like, I'm making a thing that's entirely, you know, just for kids. Like, make it for yourself and then make it so, you know, kids are smart. Kids are way smarter than the media gives them credit. Like, kids are super intelligent. And I just always get tired of that narrative that, you know, well, we're writing it down for kids because they wouldn't understand. It's like, bullshit. They'd understand. It's why Batman the Animated Series was so well received. It wasn't made for kids. It was made acceptable for kids. And now people of all ages love it, you know? I hate that trend. I hate when someone's like, well, it's a kid's film. It's like, no. Don't settle for mediocrity in your work. Like, that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out to say it's for kids. It's like, no. It's not Peppa Pig. It's not Blue's Clues. You made an animated motion picture. If you're working on this for 4 years, you better damn well fucking like it. You better like what you're making. Like, come on. Don't give me that horse shit. That stuff drives me nuts. Like, that's why Kubo's so good. That's why Kung Fu Panda's so good. Like, yeah, they're tolerable for kids. That's why Shrek 1 is so good. That's why Shrek 2 is so good. They're not made for kids. They're made by adults. They're made for everybody. They're made for, like, they've like, oh man, I thought this was funny, so we put it in there. That's it. That's simple. And that's why movies like the Emoji Movie don't do well. Because they're targeted, like, in a mass market. And it's just like, oh, right. This is not that good. Yeah, it's a weak argument, Darkstar. It's just, it's the kind of like, we're just going to default on this and just be like, whatever. It was made for kids. It's like, get out of here. Give me your budget then. I'll make something that everybody likes. Adventure Time's not made just for kids. Regular show wasn't made just for kids. It's such a Dexter's Laboratory was not made for kids. Johnny Bravo was not made for kids. The classics are never made for kids. The classics are just good stories. They're good entertainment. They're well done. They're well written, and that's why they last. And it's just like, I don't want to be a critic all the time of like people's art and stuff like that. That's not really the place that I want to take. Because making a movie is hard. And I don't blame the people that were on the team. It's always the executives that kind of run it into the ground more so than anything. Though, like everything in life, it's complicated, I guess. But yeah, I don't like the argument when people are like, well, it's a kid's movie. It's like, that doesn't mean it should be bad. That doesn't mean it should be bad at all. Like, it's written by adults. If an adult wrote it, it should be well done. And if it's not, then maybe, you know, they were time constrained. Or maybe they just half-assed it. You know? I'm not saying writing's easy. Not one bit. It's difficult. Writing is difficult. Drawing is difficult. Art is difficult. I just don't like excuses. This needs to be a different brush. Sorry, I'll check chat just for now. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah, kids. Yeah, media that kids absorb does affect their life. I mean, adults are living proof. We always talk about the things that remind us of nostalgia and stuff like that. And not all movies are made that way. I do think there's a lot of passion in a lot of movies that I've seen, but there are some that are very wholly, especially the marketing campaigns. I don't believe anybody makes a movie, a passionate artist makes a movie with the intent of like, you know, I'm doing this to just make a buck, though I'm sure some film executives say that. I mean, there is a little bit of more safe movies being made. The film industry is definitely in a weird spot right now. I'm not really sure where it's gonna go. That said, I'm not against the whole Marvel thing or anything like that. So I think some Marvel movies are great, and I think some Marvel movies are just all right. They haven't made anything that's maybe just wholly like mad. Like this is just dog poo poo. For the most part, if I've walked away, but like, it was alright. That's how I felt about Captain Marvel. I'm like, it's alright. Some people really liked it, some people didn't. I was like, whatever. Just another movie. But if someone really likes it, I'm like, cool. I'm glad you liked it. I ain't gonna get mad at you for liking a movie. It's like, there's nothing about it that's that aggressive to me. I'm also just not gonna hate on people for liking something. That just seems silly. It's like, why am I wasting my energy doing that? I think his mouth needs to be a little smaller. And there's just something about his jaw that I don't particularly love. Yeah, I'm erasing all of this. Alright, let me pull up a picture of Azale. I need to get a good look at that Goober's mug. Alright. Cat boy. Oh, I think Worrying Train is more safe movies. Yeah. Probably my issue with Marvel is that their movies start as okay, but become worse on second viewing. It depends on the movie. A lot of people hate Iron Man 2. I felt like that movie actually gets better with more viewings. I'm of the low opinion of that, and I know that movie has flaws. Iron Man 2 is like, it's like that in-between episode of like a TV show where you're like, it's all this cool shit set up, man. It doesn't completely succeed with it, but then you get the payoff later and you're like, okay, it's kind of worth it. And it kind of suffers itself for the movie because of it, but there's enough performances in that movie that just eat up the scenery that I love about Iron Man 2. It's one of those movies for a while I was rewatching a bunch. I rewatched a bunch of the Marvel movies. But yeah, some of them don't hold up as well on a second viewing. I'm trying to think of which ones wouldn't do that for me. Because I stopped buying them after a while. Just because it's like, I saw them. I'm good. So I guess that kind of adds to that argument of, you know, second viewings and all that stuff. All right. This is the most challenging part. I haven't really done an anime-ish character with this new inking style. Not that it's different from how I normally draw, it's just getting the thicks and thins. That's where it's gonna be where's gonna be the trouble and just figuring out what I want to do. Part of it's figuring out the flick of the wrist, because it's still kind of new to me, because there's cheats you can do with this form that you can't really do with other stuff. I'm just trying to figure out how much pressure I put down, how little do I put down. It's definitely a tightrope, but doing this is making me feel better. I still feel great. I still don't feel great, but I hate when I can't get work done. The biggest pet peeve. Let's give him a little bit of the chin. Less pointed. Yeah, that's better. All right. Let's get that bandana on. It's funny, I thought I was giving Chris a break, and then I had a feeling it might happen. I was just like, I'm gonna get sick, aren't I? I just kind of knew it, and then once Wednesday hit, I was like, damn it. This is what I think it is, isn't it? And my body's like, yep, be ready. I'm like, but we just got done. You're just done being sick. And he's like, yeah, I know. It sucks, doesn't it? I was like, you son of a bitch. You're fucking me over again. Thought we were a team. I'm not sure how much hair I want to hide. How much anime hair do I want to do? I kind of like the idea of hiding a lot. I think I might have made this too poofy. Oh, later, Ryan. Sorry if I didn't catch it right away. Wednesdays are actually typically my favorite days, just because Wednesday's a short day, so I tend to get out early. So it's one benefit of a sub. They usually don't make you stay on Wednesdays. Normally, when you're a main teacher at a school site, you have to stay because you have meetings. I don't have that. But, I mean, they also get paid more, so, you know. And meetings are actually good. I actually enjoyed our meetings when I was working full-time at a school. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Cool, that's all done. Combine you. And bring you down. Let's erase part of it. I still want the end of the nose. That's better. That's better. I should have bought more supplies though. I was at the grocery store the other day. Should have bought more ginger ale. Fucked up. Oh well. I got tea and plenty of stuff. Oh, you hate them because they're so busy and there's no breaks. I mean, hell man, I wish there was a 4-day work week. That'd be nice. I'd say that would be pretty baller. Alright, let's get this hair in. Some days, in some ways, I'm getting my wish. 'Cause it is going to be a 4-day work week for me. So I'm probably 99% likely going to take tomorrow off. The way I'm currently feeling, I probably need to. I definitely need to. I'm definitely not going in. Oh well. It is what it is. No, I don't want that there. His hair will be pushed back by the wind. Let's go and kinda... do that. Just means more binging of Castlevania and other stuff that I haven't watched in forever. Yes. Boy. Alright. Finally kicked my Bob's Burgers bit. I was watching that religiously for a while. I do like that show. But I've watched all the seasons like multiple times, so it's at the point where it's like, I should probably watch something else. Though in a few months, I'm sure I'll get back to that binge. It's a good show. Surprised I like it as much as I do. That writing is just too good. Why is this not... That's better. Let's do that. Lower your opacity, bud. Oh. Of course you're all on the same layer. More time for art and video games. It sucks though, because it's starting to get warm weather again, and being warm weather here sucks because we don't have air conditioning, at least not good air conditioning. So in the summer it's hard to want to do art because it's so freaking hot. And my fan from my computer blows directly on my leg right now. That's one reason I couldn't tell if I was sick last night or not. I was doing rating stuff, and I was like, I don't know if it's just the fans making me hot, and my room is starting to heat up because now it's heating up outside. And I walk out there, and then I'm cold because I'm in a shirt and t-shirt. Like, my body just can't even tell. Like, I have no idea. It's freaking losing its mind. I think I want to bring this in a little bit. I think I want it a little bit shorter. But I want this to still have its length. So I think that's about what I want. I saw a piece of art today. It was an official promo. And I saw a tangent in it. It was like a gun going into like a girl's leg. And I was like, no! Who would approve of this? Why? What feeble artist allowed this to happen? This is why we can't have nice things. Hire me. I'll make sure there's no tangents. I'll be your untangented coordinator or something. I need to fit his other ear in there, don't I? Alright. I'm taking this ear off. I'm lopping it off, and I'm moving it around. What do you mean I can't take it off? The hell I can't. Oh, it's on that layer. That's why. Okay. Freaking cat boys. I guess it would be flipped. Oh, not that way. Not that way. This way. Where in the head would you be? You'd be like there, but you'd be foreshortened. And you'd be a little bit kind of like smaller. Probably just peeking out a little bit over on this side. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably about right. Some may say I'm cheating here. I say, yeah. I'm happy with that face. That's not bad. I think I might want to fix this a little bit, but I don't want to lose that eye either. I really liked how that turned out. Alright, erase this. Wait, what? Oh, it's on this layer. Erase that. Ear's pretty good. That ear's good. You know what? I might just mask that. I might just keep that separate for now, just in case. Just in case I decide that I don't like that hair floopy. Sorry if I've been ignoring chat. I'll check in a sec. It's not intentional, guys. Not intentional. Just... you know me. Yeah, that gives a little bit more depth. Give him a little bit of his cheekbone, chalik bone, whatever. But does Sam like mathematical tangents? No, I don't like mathematical tangents. I don't like math. And that's not, I guess that's not entirely true. I don't hate math. I'm just not that great at math. Though I do think if I was to take a math class now, like on algebra or calculus, I could actually pass it. Not in high school, but I think I've learned enough now and the reasons why that I could kind of figure out how that stuff would, or know that I need to apply myself. Young Sam was very frustrated with his math classes because they would never break it down in a way that I could understand it. Now as an adult, I've seen some of that stuff and I've studied some of that, so I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm not good at it, but I can get it. I do think that this is self-diagnosing. Like, I would flip numbers all the time and stuff like that. So there's something about my brain that like flips things around, because whenever I get math problems wrong in high school and in middle school, it would always because like you flip that number. Like I would flip one number with the other number, like as I was solving the equation, and because I missed that one thing, the rest of it would be wrong. So I don't know if there's just something about my brain where like I get bored halfway through and I'm like, oh, and then I skip on to the next thing. That's probably what it is more than anything, is just boredom. Alright, I'm going to make this the head. Let's go ahead and do his body. You know what? And I usually don't illustrate it like this. And I'll eventually have all the line work. There's just something about right now how I have his eye. I don't want to lose that. So I'm just being like kind of overly precautious. I don't want to redraw it because I actually really like how it turned out. Typically I won't separate it like this. I would if I was doing Flash. Hairpiece would be its own separate thing. Alright, all of this is that. Okay. This is kind of like the flat stage like we were doing with all the other things. So it's just masking it out, making sure it's separate. Mostly so I can be able to edit it later. That's really what it comes down to. Is I like when I'm working digitally, it makes it nice to edit my art. I was doing a lot of research too on tablets and stuff like that. Not for like this Cintiq to be replaced, but in terms of the portable tablets like we were talking about last time, it really does seem like iPad's really the only choice. But the cool thing that I found out is that even though that Photoshop sucks on the iPad, there is a program that converts. It's the one that procreates things. They can read Photoshop files, and you can import those files back into Photoshop, which is all that I was really worried about. Like if I can do sketches on there and then import into Photoshop later if I want to do extra cleanup, that's the main issue I was looking at, where I was like, should I get a Microsoft Surface tablet then instead? I'm still not going to be buying one anytime soon. It's more so like for shits and giggles device if I want it. Cheating is good? Wait, what? What's happening? Some call it cheating, but I call it using available tools. Math tangents are annoying. Controversial tangents are interesting. Some call it cheating. I call it using available tools. I have always found that funny. It's an argument that is kind of moot. You know, the argument like, but I always have a calculator on me because I always have my phone, so why do I need to do it by hand? And to some degree, people are right. It's like, yeah, you always have a calculator now, so you don't really have to. Really, more of what I've come down to in my understanding of how I appreciate math is about problem solving. It's about teaching you that in life there's going to be problems presented before you, and you're not going to have the solution. And you're going to have to figure out what that solution is. You're given a problem. Here's what it needs to equal out to. You need to find what that variable is, and how do you solve that variable. So that's what I try to explain to students, to people. It's like, yeah, I don't like math either, but to me it's more like a brain teaser. It's training your brain how to solve problems where you don't have the answer. And it's funny because art is kind of that very same thing, but it's a visual thing instead. Yeah. I mean, it isn't just problem solving, but that's the best way for me as an artist to find appreciation for it and see the beauty in it and see the necessity of it. That said, most people aren't going to need trigonometry growing up in life. It serves a very minute segment of people. But I also understand why it's part of the educational system. But I do think the educational system sometimes puts too much weight on it. And they need to be more transparent with their students and being like, yeah, you're probably not going to need this, but what you're doing this because it's training your brain to think, in different ways. Now, is that useful for everybody? No, but I do think on some level, everybody should try and learn that stuff. I mean, yeah, not everyone's going to be good at it. The problem is that it throws grades on it, and then once grades are on there, it leads to other issues. There's no good answer for it, honestly. There's no simple solution to this stuff. Education's difficult. Simple as that, I guess. Stuff I think about even as an art teacher. Mostly because I've been teaching mostly general ed for the last year and a half. Because when I go into sub for classes, I'm not teaching art. I don't think I've never subbed for a single art class. Our teachers never seem to be sick. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're transferring all their sickness to me. They're like, oh good, that guy got out of the system? Get that guy. Send all the germs his way. He'll be fine. Bring that in. Kind of covering my bases with this a little bit. I guess all I need is one extra mask for the fur in front. This is going to let me know whether I like this or not. I needed to do this flat anyways. It's not the end of the world. Let's do one more above it. And let's make you like blue. Because I don't want to do the anime hair thing. I want the hair to be... I don't want it to be see-through. I don't want to go for that anime look. That's not me. My friend always used to make fun of that in middle school. I don't hate it, but I feel like I'm losing a little bit of the punch from that eyebrow. Yeah, I'm definitely losing a little bit of that punch. Let's duplicate this. And let's change this to a different color so I can see it a little bit better. Lower you. Let's do... Let's do a little bit more here. One of the main things I'm always doing illustrations, especially when it's someone's character, I want to make sure that you get to see their character. That's why back illustrations are hard, like when it's fight scenes. I had a lot of trouble when I was doing that with my last D&D illustration. That hair doesn't look right then. Okay, I'm checking math. I like math. Okay, see, but if it was just a problem solving one, hey, I know this because computer science is 90% problem solving, and I love that. Just let the internet teach people everything that can't possibly go wrong. Yeah, sure. No, that simple solution right there. Sure, that would work out stunningly. Don't tell them what sites to learn from. Just say, go on the internet and learn stuff. Go to 4chan. I'm sure you'll learn a lot. Nothing probably useful, but you'll learn a lot of fetishes probably. So I guess they'll teach you what to be wary of in the world. And that if someone asks you to do that in bed, maybe you might want to be like, you know what? I've seen how this plays out. Chris told me stories. I definitely want to do a hair floopy right here. But I don't want to give him too much forehead either. What if I take that, and angle it a little bit more. Yeah. That way I get to see a little bit more of that. Okay. Every once in a while, pen tool, I'm gonna need you. Hello, old friend. I've come to use you again. You made too thick of a line, my dude. How about that? That's better. Alright, let's turn you up to full. Nope, don't like it. Don't like it at all. I still like the eye. Just take you. Oh, nope. Just take you. Put you here. I duplicated you, right? No, I did not. Let's duplicate you once. Alright, let's see. Part of it's that, but part of it's not that. That might have been my solution. Oh, not that. That might have just given me the accidental solution. Yeah, I think that's good for now. Start working on the rest of the body. It's one of those things too. I'm looking at it with flats, so I may get to a point where it's just like it's not even the flats that bother me. I may have a point where it's like, oh, okay. Once you add everything in there, like, I'll get to the point where it's like, okay, it looks fine. Then he has those. Oof. No. There we go. And seeing the whole process, this is what it's like. Constantly kind of going back and forth until I find something I want. Doesn't usually happen as much with this kind of stuff. Doesn't always happen like this, but some drawings are just like, alright, it's gonna be a fight the whole way. And sometimes it's just something as simple as like you have to just readjust the chin. Sometimes it's just like an angle of a jaw, like that can make an entire difference with the drawing. It's really weird. Sometimes it's not. But even right there, like I like that a lot more, and all that was just changing one line to make a difference. There we go. That's much better. I like that a lot, actually. That looks good. Alright, cool. I'm sorry, let me check. If you want the internet to teach everyone to come to Ontario, our education budgets are so shit. Kids are being forced to take up half their high school classes online. That sucks. Yeah, I don't want to... I have many things to say on that. In the same vein as you, Valentara. I'll never understand when people say we're all about helping people, but let's cut all the social programs because people need way too much help. It's like, wait, what? You should just be smarter. It's like, so you're taking away the education you had as kids and you're not giving it to us? That seems a little unfair. Alright. That makes sense. Alright. I was wanting to avoid this because I knew this character is just going to be hard. I like the head. I like what I've drawn. But I think... You know what? Let's go ahead and duplicate, make that one layer. Bother. Why am I drawing so hard? I love it. God, is it hard. Torso. There's just something about how I drew this that I'm like, there's something off. There's something I did wrong. I don't know what it is. There's something I'm feeling in my gut. It always comes down when it's like the neck, when it's like this. But you know what? That actually looks... That's better. That's what I was missing. Just need some of that structure back. And I know cats have the hunched shoulders. But, you know... Always finding my anatomy through the mess can sometimes be traumatically annoying. Alright. What the hell is Fox barking at? You know, I actually do feel better now that I'm up and doing this. So, thank you for that, guys. It might be a temporary high, but it feels nice to get stuff done. Because I want to finish this illustration. There's a bunch of other illustrations I want to do on this channel that we haven't done yet. Like that children's book thing I've been talking about for a while is something I really want to get done. There's like 5 illustrations in that kind of set that I want to do. Alright. That's good enough. Let's put you underneath. I'm just gonna have to straight out and draw it. Alright. Yeah, that sucks, Jack. It all runs in cycles though, honestly. It sucks, but like when I was in school, they had the budget for stuff. And then when my younger brother was in it, they started doing budget cuts. And then when I got into teaching, they're adding money back in. And then now they're cutting it again. It just goes back and forth. It's just such it's a bummer because it affects so many kids. And no teacher feels good about that. No good teacher feels good about that. Alright, let's do this. Nope, that's way too thick. I'm not even on the right brush. That's the right brush. Is that the same thickness? I think I need to go a little bit. I think I need to go 6. Yeah, that seems about right. Let's get, I'm doing, Sale really likes fur armor, so I'm gonna kind of embellish on this a little bit more. I like fur armor too. Fur armor's fun. I wish 14 had more fur armor. Not so I could be a furry. Just I think bear armor and like fur armors and stuff like that look baller as hell. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of NBA stuff. And the word baller just comes to mind. It's also the NorCal in me, so. Nope. Yeah, that's good. Then again, if I was to say the NorCal in me, I should be say hella a lot more, I guess. That's hella swag. Nah. Okay. That looks good. Self-affirmation. That's way too thick. Okay, that's good. The pendulum of history. Wait, people actually say that? I thought hella was a joke. No, dude. Hella is not a joke here in NorCal. Mike says hella all the time. We don't say it as much, but it was really popular a few years ago, like when we were growing up. Hella's definitely a NorCal thing. It's such a great tool for pissing people off too, because they think it's facetious. I can't even say that right. They think it is. Like they think we're just doing it to make people mad, or SoCal people think we're doing it. It's like, nah, hella is just. It's just like a verb we use here all the time. Hella swag is definitely a joke, but hella, nah. Hella's legit. Hella's a legit NorCal thing. I personally am a big fan of hella. I think it's rad. It is a verb up here, man. It is a verb up here. I know. It shouldn't be used as a verb because it's not really a verb. God, what would it technically be? An adverb? Because it's it's describing an adjective? Yeah, I guess it would be. This is why I didn't teach English. Though some people do use it as a verb here. Incorrectly. But, yeah. Can't blame him. English is freaking weird. I ain't gonna be trouncing on anybody. I ain't one to speak on correct people, but I do appreciate corrections. I'm always trying to improve in both English and art. Well, improve in anything, pretty much. It seems silly to try and not improve. Alright, I'm kind of making this armor up as I go. I don't know how 14 artists do it. Alright, I'll worry about the floopy stuff later. Nope. I need a bigger brush. Oop. There we go. That's better. And that's his torso. This is where part of the armor starts playing into a place. The worst part of the condition of Ontario's education system at the moment is, from what you know, all the teachers' unions are going on strike, and what I heard, not much has gotten done in terms of agreements. That's harder on teachers and students. Yeah. I don't know how the districts and unions work up in Canada, but I know that for around here, whenever teachers talk about going on strike, it's not something we take lightly, and it's not something we want to do. And for the most part, from what I can tell from our union, usually the reason why it's like, we're not striking for more money. We're not asking for a bigger paycheck. We're asking for, it's like, dude, we need the money for the kids. Like, we need it for our schools. Like, we're not asking for a bump in our pay. And sometimes they do, but also teaching doesn't get paid enough. But it really, a lot of this comes down to is the person that's in charge of all education for the government right now of the United States doesn't value public education. They value charter schools and private schools. So they're not giving enough money to it. They'd rather spend trillions on war profiteering than spend it on our general education. But, you know, I'm all for shoring up defenses, but it does feel like we spend $1 trillion on military funds, but not on education. Seems a little lopsided, but I'm also biased. I'm a teacher. Alright, I gotta do a shoulder pad. I should probably do that next. I'll make this on a separate layer, turn you off, because I like what I designed for this shoulder pad. It's just too high. Oh, or I could do this. Drag you down. You know, the more I look at this, the more I do think I just need to make that smaller. Okay. Is all that stuff still on? Hide that shit. I don't need that on right now. That's better. That should stop my computer from chugging. Yeah, that's better. And then let's take this Yep. And move that a little bit. I'll sometimes do this with my sketches too. Like, say I like the majority of what I sketched, but I'm like, body placement isn't completely right. It's the one nice thing about working in Photoshop. As I'm not at the inking stage yet, so I can kind of move stuff around a little bit, because this is more in line with what I'm actually thinking. Cool, I can probably take this and move that down a little bit, tilt it a little. Yes. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Torso looks a little weird, but that's okay. We know what my actual torso is. So I can ignore thick boy over here. I do need to draw on some of his other stuff, just because I do need to see some of that, because it's got this weird like floopy thing right here, and then his torso's there. Okay, that's good. I think that's enough information that I can make that work. Oh, you have to go prep for raid? Cool. See you later, Valentar. Thanks for joining us, bud. Can I find any mention of hell as a verb on the internet only as an adverb? Hell yeah, I got one thing right though. Adverb? That's what I'm talking about. It's close enough. That's like a first base hit or something like that. I know baseball. Or like a ball slider, whatever it's called. I know basketball. Don't know much about this ball that has the pitching and stuff. Not a huge sports guy, but I've always loved basketball. Chris, on the other hand, can't stand sports. Me and Mike, though, whenever Mike comes over, it's one reason why I was hoping we could start recording stuff soon. That was the plan this month for me and him to do some fighting games and stuff like that. But now I'm sick again, so on to postponement once again. Someone that actually knows sports, that I can actually talk to, that I don't want to blow my brains out. Oh, my smoothing's off. That's why. Oh. There we go. Nice. Nice. Erase that. If anyone has any questions, I know I'm a little under the weather, but I'd still like to hear from you guys. So if you have any questions while I'm working on stuff, like why I'm doing certain things, feel free to ask. It might take me a second to notice you, but I will get to it. There we go. Oh. Oh wait, no. I'm not missing anything. I already said goodbye to Val. Bring that in. This has got a little dagger here. That'll work. So much detail. So much detail. Still no fur form. It's gotta hit the streets, man. That's why. Got out of the streets of Oakland. San Fran. Ask him if hell is a verb. I guarantee you'll probably at least find a couple people that say, yeah, that's probably a verb. I didn't say it'd be a lucrative or a worthwhile endeavor. Yeah, I don't like that. I'll do the little crosses later. Oof, turn that off so I can find that hand. Well, he did say these were lost out again. I don't believe him. He's lying to me. Oh, that's what I thought they were lost out again. They're actually different. Alright. I'm gonna draw those. Make them up. Too big. But, still like the intention. There we go. Let's see. Bring that in a little bit. And then what I need to do give it some of those kind of gauntlet-like fingers. That's better. There's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that. Segment those fingers. That's better. Not that. Actually. Give it a little bit of point. Oh, I have chat completely blocked. That's why I can't see stuff. That's important. You had a cavity filling? Oof. I had that happen. I had to have to go to the dentist the other day. That was not fun. I had to have 2 cavities filled. Luckily, it didn't cost me too much, but still not a fun experience, so I feel you, man. It sucks waiting for that numbness to wear off. Alright, get that in there. Shore up that. Gauntlets are kind of almost one piece. You know what? I need to separate this. Oh, that's not right. zoom out. Take that off. There we go. Yeah, then it kind of has like these spike palindromes kind of going off it. I might need to use the pen tool. I'm not exactly happy with this hand. Yeah, goodbye. You're all gone. You're not good enough. Too chunky monkey for me. Alright. Try that again. You know what? Let's do this hand first. Turn off smoothing a little bit. Get that in there. And then it's really just the same thing. Oh, hey Bennett. I feel like it's been repeating the same song this whole time. It probably has. Oh, that's better. Huh. Later, Bennett. Have a good night, dude. Big brain time. Alright. Okay. Yeah, large cranium hours. Pretty much. Alright, get that arm in there. Just trying to figure out, like, logistically in my head what it should be doing. Because it's a kind of gauntlet, but it's a funky ass gauntlet. that in there. Arm would be going like this. So that makes sense for that. I'll add the other part later, I guess. I want these to feel like Makote claws. So I kind of... want there to be a little bit of feralness to it. The way that they're portrayed. Yep. Huh. This is why I avoided doing this character for so long. Oh, they're the warrior gauntlets. That's what they are. They're just dyed black. Okay. That's why I couldn't tell. Alright, let me find a reference of that. Where are you? I know I saved a reference. Where are you, folder? Bring you up. I've even drawn the warrior gauntlets before. No, those are out again. Oh, I guess I have it. Tisk, 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 tisky, tisk, tisk, tisk. Alright. Let's see. Warrior FF14. Armor. Images. That's interesting. It's usually covered by that. Thought that was the warrior armlets. Maybe he's right. I guess they are elegant. Warrior elegant. They don't look like that though. He's telling me they are, but they don't look like that. Maiden gauntlets. Alexander. Tank. Armor. It's not that either. Interesting. Yeah, you know what? I guess I'll just... Huh. I'm not sure. Huh. It's definitely fingered gauntlets. It's got like a shape going on there. And then it roughs into a shape like that behind the elbow pad. Only one of them has the spike. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Hi. Alright. Change you to red. Take off smoothing. Let's start figuring out what I'm actually going to draw. Because I need a better blueprint. Because you are not sufficing. hand shape in there. Finger 1. Finger 2. Finger 3. Finger 4. Maybe have this one slightly bent. Get a little bit more thickness. Thicken them up. Want them to feel like meaty claws. Yeah. Finger gauntlet 1. Finger 2. It's a bit better of a game plan than before. Oh yeah. And then it would have, it'd be back here. And then there would be like the shoulder thing right here. Flip my brush. Okay, that's a bit better. I guess they only have that little gauntlet there, that little triangle piece. And then they kind of just go into whatever. Edit. Let's transform perspective a little bit. Yeah, that's better. That's more along the lines of what I want. I'll just break this into another gauntlet. Bring that shoulder pad part in there. Do that. Bother. This is perplexing. What's on his other shoulder blade? Oh, okay. It's that. It's got a circular. Okay, that's not too bad. I can do that. Circle. It's got a little bit of a swirly action, so let's bring that up in there. Just so it feels like that armor, even if I'm not intentionally trying to draw all of it. Like that. A little bit there. Why are you not flipping the brush? There you go. That's better. Come on, think, brain, think. Yeah, just a little bit there, a little bit of tuft. Yeah, and then just have kind of like a symbol of etchings Go there. That'll be good. Okay. Let's turn off this. Let's just lower this to an opacity where I can see. Bring that back up. Switch back to black. Erase this, even though it looks kind of nice. Erase a little bit of this. There we go. I'll make it work. Fill that in, give it a little depth. Bring that in. Get that shoulder pad in. It's a little bit of a tangent. Fix that. There we go. And a little bit here. And a little bit there. Bless you. Why am I saying bless you to myself? Sorry. Bless me. My bad. Okay. That's true, it is polite. My apologies. And it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Get this gauntlet in there. There we go. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, bless you, Blue. Get that finger gauntlet in there. Get this one in here too. No matter how many hands I've drawn, no matter how much I practice, every artist ever, they're always still difficult. Alright. Yeah, that's more like what I'm going for. That's better. That's good enough. Oop. There we go. A little bit in there. Get that. Get that. You know what? This is probably a little bit too organic. There we go. Good enough. I need to move on with other parts of the illustration. I can't keep doodling and dawdling on this thing. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't serve as much of a purpose at a certain point. At a certain point, you gotta learn to let go and kind of move on to the next part. You can only get so much out of a certain portion. And also, it's the whole piece. It's not about... it's the whole piece. And I'll know more once I have more of this done. I'm just thinking to myself functionally, like, okay, how would this bend in the place that it's bending? Or twist in the place it's twisting? Erase that, erase that. But then I remember my style is more organic, so some of those things I can kind of loop with. Bring that smoothing back up. Oh, that's right. This is where the shoulder thing is. It can't just be like a big sausage fingers. It's so much easier to draw. That's what Family Guy does. But I'm not Family Guy. I gotta actually draw my hands. I mean, you look at Peanuts. Not exactly the most complicated hands. I love Charles Schultz. He's one of my favorite illustrators. But his hands are like just, I don't know, they're just like floopies. He makes it work though. It works with his style, and it was more about his writing than anything. But I still love, there's a lot of charm to his work as well. So there's something to be said about getting away with having bad hands. No one would say Schultz was the hand guy. I mean, maybe someone said that, but I think the context would be a lot different. It's got little like hash marks in the plating. Not there. A little bit of ornateness to this stuff. That's better. I'm not trying to copy it directly. It's just, without a line drawing, it's too hard for my brain to figure out what it means polygonally. So I honestly just have to kind of like I have to Picasso it. I kind of have to interpret it the best way I think I know how. Yeah, I mean, don't stress on it too much. There's no for that, Jack, yeah. Hands are just something to get better with at time. And I'm really good at hands, but it's just funny that parts of it are still difficult. Because I would think by now I would have this down pat, but nope, not yet. Still need more time. He says it's that. It's definitely not that. I just don't know how to do a circle to hide them. Contort my hands into positions. Half trace them. Yeah, one thing I try and pressure with my students is not to hide them. It's unfortunate. It's one of the, like, if you want to be a pro illustrator, it's like you gotta learn how to do them. It's tough, but you just gotta throw yourself in there and eventually get good enough at them that you can kind of do it as you need to. Let's see. Alright, I kind of made these things there. Just little like rivets, little divots in there. Because honestly, I'm looking at the armor that he sent me and I can't tell. So I'm just going to add stuff that makes it look cool. Now I want to see this axe, but this is where it gets troublesome. I feel like I need to edit its perspective more. Yeah, I just need to adjust how I'm drawing it as I'm going. Pretending like it has more depth to it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting away with like simple hands. Because not everyone needs to be the hand guy. There's a lot of shows, a lot of professional stuff that don't have the greatest hands. There's nothing wrong with that. Hands are hard, so sometimes when you're doing like big old shows and stuff like that, you need to be able to make it more accessible to all the artists that are working on it. If you make it too complicated, your staff might not be able to do it. Let's go ahead. I want to get that depth in there, so some of this will just be in shadow. I probably should just honestly replicate some of these shapes, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to, just because of the way that the perspective that I'm using. Alright, bring that in. And bring that around. Alright. Yep. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That looks good. That looks solid. Be confident. Just throw down your lines. Like a line in the sand. Don't be worried about making it perfect. Make it look cool. There we go. Oop. Oop. There we go. Sorry, I'm in a groove, so I haven't looked back at the screen in a little bit. My apologies. Let's see. There we go. Nice. As Chris would put it, this is his big ol' fuck off axe. Not ass. Axe. Big difference. Well, you might say that about his ass. I don't know. You guys have to ask him. Don't think so, though. Maybe if he was playing a D&D character, that would be his thing. Certain type of character. Or maybe just a drunk version of himself. I don't know. Yeah, I'm liking that. It's not perfect, but it works. Yeah. Okay, what else is around there? Really? It has chains? Nah, not drawing that. But I am gonna doodle that. Which is like its core. Yeah, that'll work. Now let's get its other portion. This is way too long. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of cut that off. Yeah, a little bit like that. Get out of the house. Ed, it's the third time you've broken in this week and I'm not in the mood, Axe. Yep. actually use when you want to get those damned kids off your lawn. I do think it'd be funny to be the old man on a porch. A lifelong dream. I need a porch though. So there is that. That's kind of a problem. One day I'll have a porch. Just for that sole purpose. Big ol' fuck off axe is good. Alright. The biggest motivating factor getting your own house. On a porch, be an old man, yell at kids from it. Yep. I mean, I could get a classroom and then also do the same thing, like just build a porch in the classroom, maybe become a woodshop teacher. Feels a little counterintuitive though. I feel like the purpose of being in the classroom is not to yell at kids. Let's make you a little bit more. That's what I gotta do. Alright. If I end up becoming a commercial, I'll yell at the kids to get off my lawn so I can yell at them to get off my lawn. It's a dream. Stupid dream, but a dream nonetheless. What's funny is I could probably never be that old man. I'm too nice to people. I'd probably yell at them and be like, just kidding guys. Here's your free candy. But then I might get in trouble because people are like, why is an old man yelling at people and then giving them free candy? What kind of game is this old man playing? No game. I'm just bored. And then my wife would yell at me and tell me to stop doing it. Probably get the cops involved. Be a whole mess. And then I just pretend to be senile. Can't go to jail if I'm senile, right? I actually probably still can. That shoulder. Yep, that's not right. Or maybe I'm already senile. Maybe everything's a... Oh no, I can't be a figment of my imagination. I'm a figment of Chris's imagination. That's right. Oh, good night, Pat. Thanks. I hope I feel better soon too. Thanks for sticking with us. I was gonna end this one earlier, but I'm feeling this piece and I kinda wanna get the rest of them done, honestly. I really wanna finish this thing. At least to Zale. Its main portion of his body. Can't just be a nobody, he has to be a somebody. Do I have to bring that arm in? I think I do. Alright, let's erase a little bit of that. And let's take you, Mr. Arm. Get rid of this. You're not allowed to be part of the party. You are, though. Yeah. Like right around there makes sense for the arm to be connected. Doesn't have to be super fancy around here. Avoid that tangent though. There we go. There we go. Alright, what does his armpit look like? Oh, made everything disappear. Where the hell are you? There you are. Probably nothing really there, honestly. I'm going to be mostly in shadow. But let's get a little bit of three-dimensionality in there. Bridge that gap. And cut that a little bit. Yeah, that makes it look a little bit less at least. Yeah, we'll just add some extra armor right there. Enough to hide it. Though I do think, yep. Yeah. Yeah. Erase that. Erase this. That should be fine. Most of it's going to be covered in shadow anyways. Special effects. I'm overthinking it. Alright. Oop. Too much. Yeah, that's fine. All right. They did change it a little bit between those two. Okay. There we go. Let's do a trick. bother. Alright. Oh, hey, Andre. How's it going, dude? Let's do that. Do one of these. And do that. Other than being sick, I'm doing alright. Wasn't planning to. Thought I was gonna stop by now, but I'm feeling pretty okay, so kind of still just trudging along. Alright. Smoothing. Yeah, that's what I feel like a snowman on fire. Probably only needs to be a 4. Not that size. How about there? Brush. That's good. And then get that shape in there. That's good. Bring that like that. Because it's got a little hubcap. A little bit there. A little bit of grabby grab. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Nice. Okay. And floop. Like that. And flip that in. Bring that around town. Nice. It's got a little bit of detail going on here. There we go. I can probably honestly just edit, transform, horizontal. And use all of it, but I can use some of it. Erase that. Erase that. A little bit more. A little bit more. Should I bring that up a little bit? Yeah, probably. Probably like around here or something like that. And then I'll just make that other stuff back up again. Nice. Here we go. I like that. I like that couchling with the glasses. That's funny. Cool guy couchling. Cool. Cool ching. Cool ching. Erase that. It's gonna need to come over a lot more. Just have to redraw that. That's okay though. Oh. It's definitely coming along though. We're almost there with this guy. I'm liking the top portion. It's looking alright. Feet aren't too bad. I mean, they're complicated, but they're not too bad. It's all this wrapping around stuff that throws me off. Let's see. It's getting my brain to think about, like, alright, how did I draw that? Now how do I draw that again, but in this perspective? Bloody hell. Don't want to draw on that layer. It's got like a circle. Oh, fucking hell. Of course it's true. Modeler can just model this thing once and be like, alright, cool, good, have fun with it. Me? No, not so much. Not so much. Not that the modeler had an easy job or anything. They created this thing. It's gorgeous. But the armor is not exactly. 14 is very much much not my style. I mean, I love looking at it, but just drawing it is very much, it's out of my wheelhouse because there is so much attention to detail. That is one of the things I love about it, though. But my brain just simply does not work that way sometimes. So finding ways to simplify these shapes, to find the essence of it, but not fret too much on the fact that it doesn't look entirely like it. Like, someone should look at this thing and like, oh, it's the Alexander armor. They shouldn't be like, oh, but they're missing bits and bobs. So that's always the fun thing about my style, though, is finding ways to simplify different subjects and, like I said, find that essence of what the design is really about. You know, pretty much like, yeah, if they were to make a 14 anime, like, this is what they'd have to do. Is they'd have to find ways of like, well, we can't use that armor exactly unless they were going to do 3D models. Okay. And it's got some spikes on the end. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Oh, did that playlist stop? Let me go ahead and put that back on. That'll work. Do 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 bum ba bum 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 ba dum ba bum ba 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 bum bum. Do 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 do. What the hell is that skirt doing? Fuck me, it's going all the way. Shit. There we go. Alright. Okay, let's look at this. Okay. Gotta get those legs. Gotta get those manly legs in there. Where is my picture of Zale's legs? Alright. Okay, I see that. I can do that. Am I on another layer? Good, I'm on another layer. Cool. Oh, that brush is way too small. Let's try 6. That's also part of it too, is with this new technique I can do a lot more things, but I also have to be very wary. Well, I guess with my old style I changed my brush format a lot too, but definitely with this one I gotta be very careful about making sure I'm using always like the same line weight quality. I don't want to have too thick of a line weight, otherwise things will just, they'll look off for certain characters. This needs to be, I need to be able to move that up a little bit. I know one thing one of my friends suggested I play 14 with is that we should do the Final Fantasy XIV demo on the channel. Is that something you guys would want to see? Like, I know we're going to be playing Final Fantasy XIV, so I figured I'd just hold off until the whole thing comes out, which seems more appropriate. I mean, we still got to ask you guys what format you guys want to see that in. Like, it comes out next month. But would you want that as like a Twitch thing? Would you want that as a Let's Play series? Because like Kingdom Hearts didn't do that well for us, so I am curious what you guys think and how it would do better. Like, do you think it would do better as a Twitch thing, or would it do better as a Let's Play thing? Obviously, it would always be VODs. And there, you know, that would be there. Okay, because that's what I thought too. Like, I'm gonna be buying it anyways. I wasn't really hyped at first, but the more that I saw of it, the more it hits my nostalgia. Because I grew up drawing Final Fantasy VII characters. Nomura had a big influence on my art direction when I was young, and still kind of does to this day. I still really like a lot of his old school Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VII stuff. Like, it still serves as an inspiration. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Jack. I feel like the longer games, like RPGs and stuff, would be better served on Twitch. Just because if we're gonna do them, you gotta make more progress. It's like Breath of the Wild. Like, if Breath of the Wild hadn't been... If it hadn't been for Twitch, that game would have just... It just takes too long. And I feel like that game especially. I just want our games on Twitch to be interactive. I don't want you guys to be bored. I want you guys not to be able to spend couch coins and stuff like that on certain games. In certain games, I don't know what to do in terms of that. Oh. Gotta get deep in here. Okay. I should be able to see a little bit of the heel. Get a little bit of those fantasy grooves in there. I can feel like it's more armorish, but still like organic. We'll end up doing a poll too on the channel as we get closer to it. I mean, ideally, hopefully I'm over this in a day or two, and hopefully Chris is over his soon, so we can start recording again. Start getting more stuff out. I can't tell what those are. Oh well, I'm making it up. dig in there. No, that's too high. Well, then again, if I do that. I mean, part of it's perspective, too. Would I be seeing... No, because I want his leg to be pushing back. Yeah. Alright, this is another layer. Okay. It would fit. But I think I need to add a little bit here. Not that that's his leg or anything, but just... Yeah, that just makes it feel a little bit more like what it should be. From that. Cool. Cool. It's funny, I was rewatching the original Pokemon anime today and a little bit last night. That show still rocks. That show's still fun in its first season. Like, it's corny, but and maybe it's just nostalgia, but there's something about that original season of Pokemon that just feels cool. Something I feel like the games have just still never captured. The games have their own charm, mind you, but there's something about that first Pokemon anime series and just how the world feels like, I don't know, a world. Still waiting for a Pokemon game that kind of gives me that kind of feeling, even with all the Jenny clones and the Team Rocket puns. But just that sense of adventure, it always feels like that world feels alive in Pokemon in that first season. I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, it still has its problems, like the Tommy episode and when they're in the Kangaskhan, like, that's corny as hell, and like there's a lot of funky ass writings. But in terms of world building, I still think that first Pokemon anime does some special stuff. It's not perfect, mind you, but there's something about it. Have you tried Marbles on Steam? No, I haven't. I heard of that. Just like to collect Pokemon? I can get that too. I can get that. Like I said, I grew up when it was in full mania, so I watched the anime. I bought the cards. I played all the games. I was a Poke kid. And the main reason why on the Let's Play and stuff like that I forget stuff is just honestly because they've just changed so much stuff in the games over the years, and I always would just find what worked for me and I would just abuse that. I was never too worried about like the meta or other little things like that, other like here and there things. Alright, let's toggle that off. Is there anything about this I hate right now? No. There's nothing about this that I hate. Is there anything about this that needs to be pushed? Yes. That needs to be pushed. That's definitely one of those old shows, though. That definitely hits a certain spot for me. Always a fun show. Like, after the first season, not so much. But that first season of Pokemon, it's good. First time you saw it was on was in Germany. Hard to know what they said. Oh, it was in German? Huh. Well, they probably did better translation than the English team. Got to the infamous donut episode where Brock's like, I love jelly donuts. Like, that's a rice cake. Even as a kid, I was like, that's not a donut. I don't know what that is. It's definitely no donut. What a weird compromise to make. It's called a donut. Like, why? I think kids are gonna look at it and be like, that's not a donut. I don't think it's gonna kids aren't gonna be like throw a fit. It's like, they said a food that I didn't know? Ooh, nice. I want chocolate now. Alright. That's okay. For now, I think that... Oh, where's the opening? It's not there. Somewhere in here where there's a hole. It's right there. Found it. And reverse. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten the tail. This is more so just... Oop, not that. Figuring out... Alright, I don't need these. Delete, don't know what they are. Doesn't matter. It's trash layer. Only reason I'm making the tail separate. Typically I would never do this with an illustration, but with as complex of an illustration as this is where I tend to do a little bit more on that kind of stuff. Alright. And then grab that. And eventually I'll probably mask this and keep it separate. But for now, this is good so I can kind of tell where stuff is. Alright, cool. Azale. It's been inked. I can delete that. I'm going to throw you back into the sketch just in case I need you. Let's throw on the background. Then I want to figure out a place to put him. Background characters, baddies. Yeah, because he's going to be in front. Characters need to be at 100% though. Hell, well, almost. Foreground, Garlean. Okay, you need to be above them. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's good. Let's bring you over a bit more though. Alright, we're gonna save this as version 3 because I am precautious. Alright. Well, is there anything else I want to do? Not him. Ooh, the giant. This is why I put stuff on separate layers, especially characters. Now, if I was doing a traditional illustration, you can't do this, but God, is it useful when you're doing this stuff. It is so useful. It makes a huge difference just being able to adjust things a little bit here and there. Makes a world of difference. Because then if I see a tangent, I can be like, oh, cool, I'm going to plop him over, or I'm going to make him smaller, or, you know, I want to move this guy over so he's feeling more of the burn. Maybe I want this guy way off, so, like, he's flying off here. Cool. Cool. Let's do black. Oh no, that's gonna be way too big. Maybe not. Do need it to be a little bit thicker. The worst part is, too, all this could be allergies, and I just don't know it. I just can't tell. I literally can't tell. I could be sick from allergies, which I do get them really bad around this time of year. It could be a combination of all three. That's the worst part. I legitimately just don't know. And I won't probably know until, like, tomorrow. Or maybe I'm just feeling the adrenaline right now. Like, I don't want to stop working on this piece, but I know I need to. I know I need to go eat. And I know that I need to go rest. But I'm fucking clicking right now. And I know once I get off this computer, oh, I'm not getting back on until tomorrow. I'm gonna go watch Castlevania and stuff. So let me finish a little bit here with that snowbank. I just want to figure out this foreground a little bit. Oh no, I don't want to erase that. I do like pixel arts. Oh, sorry, dude. I haven't just not been looking at chat. I'm totally out of it. Dude, I love pixel art. Pixel art's fucking rad. Owlboy's got great pixel art. I love Metal Slug because of its pixel art. Pixel art's freaking awesome, dude. And don't feel bad about questions. I want you guys to ask questions while I'm working on stuff. No, I think pixel art's super awesome. I think sometimes it can be a little overplayed, but I do like it. I do like pixel art. When it's done well, it's really cool. Like, I know some people, like, got mad at me for Celeste. I think Celeste looks really great. I just get bummed out because I see the art that they use, and it's not the same. It's kind of like Enter the Gungeon. I think Enter the Gungeon looks great, but I get bummed out when I see the concept art by Max Grake, and I'm like, ooh, that cover art looks rad, and then you play the game, it's like, that's not what it's like. It's like getting a comic book. And then the artist inside isn't the artist that's on the cover. It's like, I know I should know this by now, but it still bums me out. Alright, I think that's enough of that snow. Not the dragon. Background. Green. That'll plan out that. Alright, well, I think that's good for now. I should stop. I should eat. I should rest. I did not play Enter the Gungeon co-op with Chris, but Chris and Mike did go through Enter the Gungeon. It is a Let's Play on the channel. And it's fun. It's a lot of good stuff. I want to thank everybody for coming out, enjoying this with me, keeping me going, helping me through this sick day. This piece is looking rad. We finished Azael. We've got all the characters out. Next is just the lighting and then the effects stuff. So like in flats, that's a little hard, but it's coming together. Like I said, it's probably going to be another like 3 sessions till it's done. But thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I still don't have credits working. I apologize. I need to ask Chris once we're better again to get it done. The Screeby will continue. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. Hopefully you don't get sick like me, and I will see you all later. Beep, bop, boop. Once I find the thing. Where is it? There it is. Bye.